welcome everyone. It's gonna be an interesting, powerful time today. So please help me share this video to friends and family. Let everyone come on board, let everyone join. We're going to be learning from the feet of a man who is by every standard a master in the field where he has been called. Okay? So share. Let's have a wonderful time together. Let me travel in the light divine that I may see the blessed way. Keep me that I may be holy thine and sing redemption song someday. I will be a soldier brave and true and ever firmly take a stand as I onward go and then meet the full blessed Jesus holding my hand. We are live, people. We are live. My guest is ready. I hope you are ready. I'm just giving us a little bit of time to share. Please do me a favor. The information you're about to receive today cannot be for you alone. It cannot be for you alone. So on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch, all of these different platforms, if you are joining me today, please share this broadcast. Please share this broadcast. Please. In just a few seconds, I will be inviting my guest, but I'm taking this opening moment to share it myself on all the different groups that I am in, just to highlight people and let them know it's about to go down. It's about to go down for real. It's about to go down. So do me a favor and share. Like my friend would always say, share if you care. If you care for people, share this broadcast. Alright? Welcome. Share everywhere. Please help me and share. If you notice, I'm sharing right now. I'm sharing to every group I belong to. Everybody I know. People need to hear this awesome teaching from my big brother and mentor. So do me a favor and share. If you see me put my headphone on, we are about to start. We are now about to get it started because I'm about to invite my guest, the Honorable Mr. Isco, an amazing man, and I bless the Lord for the day I met this man. Let's go, people. Hello, sir. Can you hear me? Let me see if my guest is here. Okay. Waiting on him to join. And thank you for all that. Everybody, okay, I think he's here. Sir, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, people. It's about to go down. Let him settle down. It's about to go down. All right, let me quickly introduce my guest, and I will turn this over to him. Many years ago,
call it around 2008. Between 2008 2009, I was an associate pastor to my father, Pastor Edwin Bayebo, and then that was in Nigeria, in a state called Enugu State, Nigeria. So he came down to do a conference in that church where I was the associate pastor. And that conference he did impacted my life so tremendously. So tremendously. And since that day, 2008, I stayed in touch. When I had an opportunity to pastor a particular local assembly, I invited him over and over again, and he graciously obliged. He came to the church where I pastored and blessed the people. And let me tell you a testimony. Some businessmen and women in the local church I pastored also connected to him. He became their mentor, and those guys are doing tremendously well in business. So this should give you an idea the kind of person we have with us today. The power of connection. The power of connection. Please, I want you to get ready, share this video, use the comment box, like, love, share, comment. Let us make it interactive. Towards the end of this video, we are going to have an opportunity to ask him questions. So please, if you do have a question, write it on the comment box. I will read it out to him, and then he will answer everybody's question. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only fashion guru. I mean, he is proud to call himself a tailor. This man makes suits, bespoke, perfect fitting suit like the one he's wearing. Business guru, business consultant, great mentor, great big brother, the one and only Mr. Israel Ukoko. Let's make him welcome and turn it over to him. Sir, it is over to you now.
Thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. So good to be here. Thank you for allowing me to do this, and thank you to everybody who's joined. I'm not sure how many people we have, joining online. I did send it to a few people rather late. Join. Yeah. So I have so much to say, and I'll say to you. Want to say something? I thought you wanted to say something.
No, sir.
And part of my challenge is trying to compress everything. Like, I have so much going on in my head, and trying to compress it to a time is always a difficulty for me. So I'm having to be very deliberate as to what I choose to say and how long I stay on each point that I have written down. And I'm going to try as much as possible to whatever. So my nephew got married last year in Toronto.
Yes, sir.
And my sister told me he was getting married. So I was selling one of my properties in the US, and I arranged it to coincide with the time he was going to be getting married so that I could make the trip. So upon getting to the States, I needed to completed my transaction, sold the house and all. And then I was waiting for this thing that I needed to get from the US that could enable me to fly into the US because of COVID. I can't remember what it's called now. And I kept waiting. I went online, did the registration, paid for it, and for some reason they still were not sending me the code that I needed to enable me to fly into the US. I don't need a visa, obviously, but I needed to have this particular thing. Maybe I remember at some stage, later. So I decided at some stage, went online, checked for flight to take me from Detroit to Toronto. The flights were coming, first class were coming up like $1,500.
Yes, sir.
For just a short flight. And I was thinking, I don't want to pay $1,500 for a flight that just took an hour, even less than an hour's flight. It didn't make any sense to me. And I thought, okay, and by the time I get to the airport 1 hour before, 1.5 hour before, 1 hour to the flight, and then 1 hour to however long it took me to get to my sister's place from the airport, I checked how long it would take me if I drove from Detroit to Toronto, and it was going to take me like 3 hours to do the drive. So I said, okay, I'm gonna drive. So I rented the car anyway, and I was in this rental, and I drove, from Detroit to Toronto. Now I was by myself. I'd never done it before, um, and then I finally got this thing that I'd been waiting that would enable me to fly into the US.
Hmm.
So as I drove Canadian, I, I was speaking with an immigration officer. I said, he said, what are you going to do that I'm going to my nephew's wedding? He
Yeah.
said, oh, okay. He said, how long are you going to be there for? I'll be there for about 4 days, maybe 5 days, then I have to return. So I said, I was waiting for this thing. He said, oh, you don't need this. You don't need this. If you're driving into the US, you don't need it. I said,
Wow.
really? I waited all of because I thought anyhow, that was a long story. So I got in a US, so I had a US number and I had subscribed to data online.
Hmm.
Crossed over to the other side of, of my data was still working. I'd already programmed my trip to take me away to my sister's house. And there I was just driving. It was a beautiful drive, getting carried. I'm speeding and, as you do sometimes, when you're driving a nice car. And then I missed a turning. When I missed it, my GPS was now saying, trying to reconnect.
Yes,
It just
sir.
kept going round and round and round. So I parked by the side of the express, thinking like, what am I doing? I thought that my US SIM card was going to work in Canada because they both had the same +1 area code.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, oh my God, I had no network, no connection. And I sat there of this express, and I'm thinking, what do I do? Cars that are driving by and try to ask them to help me for me to reconnect to their phone so that I could then get back on track. Because from where I was, I couldn't reverse. I'd already missed the turning. This express, 5 express road. I couldn't risk reversing back, so I had to go forward. But if I went forward, I didn't know the way to get to my sister's house because I was to, so I sat there for, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes.
Hmm.
Something like that. I'm just going to drive into town and find somebody and ask them to help me connect to their phone, and then I could get back online and find my way back to my sister. And that's what I did. I drove into this beautiful village, driving, seeing different houses, and thinking, okay, which one should I go to? Didn't know who to stop. I saw cars outside. I said, who should I go to? And I saw a house, and I stopped, and I said, I'm going to go. I went in there, saw a young wife, and I explained to them what my challenge was. I said, from the States, and I had my GPS working. I said, but I missed my turn, and because I'm not online, I'm not able to get back to find my way. I said, can I please get you your Wi-Fi, and then
Hmm.
I can get. He said, sure, sure. So we connect Wi-Fi, and then find my way back to the house. Now, because of because I lost my connection, I had to be very conscious and very deliberate as to listening to what instructions I was being given by the GPS.
Yes, sir.
Because I couldn't afford to make a wrong turn. I couldn't afford to make a mistake. I couldn't afford to just take a second chance at what had happened. So, in other words, I had to be so present and so deliberate, so calculated as to what I wanted to do and how I was going to get there, that I was listening out for every single instruction that the GPS was giving to me.
Hmm.
Now, because I was reckless, not just by as I was driving, I become comfortable. He was leading me, and I just kept going, and I missed a turning because I had become too. And that's exactly what happens in life. we get so comfortable that we miss our connection and we don't know that our connection. And
Wow.
I learned a valuable lesson that always pay attention to your always pay attention to the instruction that you are being given. Never think that you know what you're doing, that you think you can ignore the instructions even for a minute.
My
Because in
goodness.
that split minute or that split second that you keep off in your mind is going to sometimes you're willing to pay.
Wow.
Now, calculated how long it's going to take my sister. I missed a turning. It took me over another extra 4 minutes. A journey that should have taken me 3 hours took like 3 hours, 40 minutes. Now
Wow.
I was paid. Part of my was the fact that I was able to cut time off of the time that the GPS had told me I was going to get. I was driving a bit fast. It was a very lovely car I got, but I'm saying this really. Part of my I was that I was shaving time off of the time I was going to take to get there.
Yes, sir.
But I lost that time that I had because I did not pay attention. I missed my turning and I lost my connection. Come to another story. I have a twin brother. My twin brother and I growing up we were very close. And he went to boarding school. I didn't go to I refused to go to boarding school on purpose. Long story. And I started at the age of 15. My mother said to me that you're old enough to start warming the car now. But what I heard my mother say was you're old enough to start driving. So when she told me this, the next I took the car and I went to the car, turned the car on. I didn't learn to drive. When she told me how to drive, I knew how to drive. I reversed the car backwards and I drove back into the car and I warmed the car and I gave it to my mother. The next day I took the car and I started driving. When my brother was in boarding school, even while I was saying to my mother, Gideon is not well. I need to go see him. My mother said, you started again. I said, he's not well. I need to go see him. And I would take the car, drive to his boarding school, and lo and behold, he's in bed in a very bad state.
Wow.
In the car and take him home. My mother was like, how did you know? I said, I just know when he's not right. I just know when he's not feeling well.
Yes,
Why?
sir.
Because we're both so connected.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes we think, sometimes when he's saying something and I would complete his statement or my statement, this level of connection. But of course, we take time and also married to our wives, and of course we're not as connected as we used to be, in that regard. But this was something that was very profound for me, and it just goes to show that as human beings, we have the abilities to connect in ways that we cannot even begin to comprehend.
Yes, sir.
So, what are those things that when we talk? What are the things that affect our connection, or what are those things that enhance our connections? Number one is our location. Where you are, your location greatly affect the level of your connection, or would greatly enhance the level of your connection. I'll give you an example. Take Nigeria, for example. In Nigeria, there's certain places that you go to, and you cannot get network connection.
Yes.
You struggle, you will sometimes have to be moving from one room to the other, pacing back and forth before you get a connection. It is very frustrating. In other words, a lack of connection would diminish the quality of your life. Now, sometimes driving through, rural areas, if I'm traveling by road, you get to certain places and you don't have any network. There's no connection. And all of this are quite frustrating. So now this is me going through these places. What about the people who live in these places who are not able to get the connection that they need to be able to get the quality of the life that they deserve?
Wow.
Number one. And one of the challenges in these regards, sometimes, you know, certain countries are notorious with poor connectivity because of infrastructural deficiencies.
Yes, sir.
Now, infrastructure is key to the development of people and of a nation. Sometimes it's down to incompetence. There's of the sometimes it's down to greed, just wanting to take excessive profit rather than put their monies back into the business to develop the infrastructure. Most of them pull out and take out as much as they want to do, or
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it's just sheer corruption.
Yes, sir.
As a service provider, these they want to provide a service, and the politician say, well, you have to give me this percent out of it. But as a businessman, he's going to give you so much money to the politician, then he has to be able to recoup some of his monies to ensure that he's profitable and sustainable in his business. Number two, second thing that will affect your is your position.
Okay.
You might be in the right location, but in the location. So if you are not getting the right connection that you need to be able to say to yourself, find a better position in this location.
Hmm.
Number three, what affects your connectivity is your network. Now, to talk about in terms of areas that identify in our everyday life, satellite connections or whatever it may be. Number three is your every time I travel to any country, I would ask the question, or first of all, Google, which network provider offers the best services? It might be MTN in one country, it might be in another country. It varies. If Vodafone, and whatever code best network in that country, that is the network that I will subscribe to. Now, when I talk about network, I go on and about that. In terms of how well you are going to be connected, let's look at human network. What group, what people are you connected to? What set of people are you connected to? That will determine level of your connection. How
Yes,
you're
sir.
able to maneuver your way of people will determine whether you succeed or whether you fail. And that really is the power of network. I have
Yeah.
met some great people in my life. I've met some great people in my business. And some people and I've stayed in touch with, and not necessarily effort or out of my own goodwill, but oftentimes out of their own goodwill, out of their
Hmm.
own abilities to stay connected.
Hmm.
Sometimes, life happens. You might go up with somebody or you might meet somebody and you click and you're getting along, and then life. And before you know what's happening, you shifted because you did not stay in touch. You did not keep in touch. You did not stay connected. So your network will determine whether you stay or you. Now, radio station. Have you tried to radio stations? And every once in a while, you're driving and you hear, the signal so clear, and you get frustrated because maybe a song you like is going on, the song is being played, and then you are now having to deal with the inconsistency and the disruption in the system because you are not having the what you ought to signal that you ought to have. Sometimes in Nigeria, when it rains, I still, for the life of me, don't understand why this happens. When it rains, the satellite TV doesn't work.
Yes, sir.
DSTV doesn't work. They will tell you lost. For the life, it never happened in England. So, what is it about? I say these people, but what is it about them that they're not able to put measures to ensure that the connection is right?
Mm-hmm.
End of the every month, salaries to my staff, and I'm struggling because the banking app would not go through. The system is flooded. Everybody's making withdrawals or whatever they're doing, and the system is overcrowded, and the networks are not able to handle the traffic that's going through their systems.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
I believe that common sense would ensure if you run and you keep getting the same errors at the same time, that you say to yourself, you need to upgrade the system. And this is where the West England is different. When the system is being built, the system is being built for it to be expandable. In other words, they know that if we have a month, we might have a thousand subscribers. We have to have a system that's scalable, that allows us to upgrade the system without interrupting the system. But for some reason, they don't, or they haven't seen to be able to make this connection in Nigeria, or to be able to make these tie. And it still beats me for the life of me. That's that. What about air control? Some planes crash. Watching air crash investigation, and because they lost connection with the air traffic control, or their systems were not working, or the systems were malfunctioning. Sometimes and dead. What should we talk about GPS? How many times, like I talked about my own GPS when I was driving from Detroit, how my it was no fault of the system, it was my fault. The system had already mapped out my route all the way from my start of my journey all the way to the end of my journey. But because for a split moment I got carried away, missed my and it threw my entire course, through my entire of course. I want to talk about the different types of options. The first is the personality. There's some people that you meet and you just connect with them. Your
Yes, sir.
personality is right with theirs. You meet them, and instantly you hit. It's like you talk about everything, you laugh about everything. I have a friend, Pastor Mark. Every time this man and I talk, we are laughing like maniacs at the slightest of things. Anybody else would wonder, what are they laughing about? But because we have such a connection, and we didn't talk for a long time, maybe for, I don't know, 2 years, however long it was. But the moment we make a call to each other, it's as though time never passed. And there's some people that you have that level of connection with. The person is just right. You must identify those people in your life. Those are special people. And things happen to understand how to navigate with this personality types. You find doors are open for you. You find deals. I've had deals come to me just because I had the right personality type, and I was the right personality type. And so you find that you realize that there's life that may not necessarily be anything to do with the hard you, but how well you the person with whom you tie. Number two, intimacy. There's some people, couples you meet have this level of intimacy with one another. It's natural, it's instant, and it just flows. Time doesn't come in between them, time doesn't pass between them. And these are the things that as human beings we long for. These are the things that as human beings we wish that the things that help us as human beings to function properly in society, not just as human beings, but in our workplaces. If your mind is not right, or if your intimate life is not right, you may not necessarily be able to function at work. I've seen people break down places because the home or the intimate aspect of their lives was not in the right state. And so all of this is powerful. I've seen men who are everything that they had because their intimate life was not right, or the partner that they had was not right for them. I've seen men rise to great heights because they were with the right person who
Yeah.
they were supposed to be intimate with. So,
Yeah.
power of connection. A woman can say words to a man, and this man will take that one word and he can run a million miles. She can just say, I believe in you. My wife always says to me, when things were going so bad, I believe in you. Believe in you. I make it. Those words, I will pick myself up, and no matter how low I had gotten, I can go and I can fix it. Again, another woman can be there and just nag you just to failure. So the power of connection, you have to be with the right person. You have to be certain that this person that I'm with, it may be good, but if it's not right, then you have to take your leave and say, no, this is right for me. So that is the power of connection. Number three, spirituality.
Yes, sir.
Spirituality. That this level of connection with God, whatever you perceive Him to be, however you perceive Him to be, wherever you perceive Him to be, that to know that there's a that you can go to and you can connect with God on that level. That you have an uninterrupted line of transmission and conversation in being able to hear from God and being able to speak to Him. I have had moments like this, thankfully, many times in my life, where I have heard God speak and I've spoken, and it wasn't even a prayer, and it's been done. Example: I went to my second old secondary school. I want to keep the story short. And principle that is there, this woman is an exceptional tutor. I did send her this clinic. I'm not sure whether she joined. Maybe she can watch it later. This is Justina Watekire. And this woman is doing a great work, and I'm very grateful, and I want to do certain things for the school. And then I said to her, I hope you'll be able to stay in the school for at least 5 years. And she says, no, I have to retire next year. I said, no, because if you leave, all the work you're doing might not be continued. All the work you've done here might be destroyed if the wrong person comes here. And
Yeah.
she says, well, I said, okay, I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to see what I can do. I'm going to make a few phone calls. So I began to make my phone calls. And as I'm talking to somebody, they said to me, oh, by the way, they've changed the retirement age for the principals from 60 to 65. I said, what? They said, yes. I said, so I don't need to make any phone calls? They said, no, you don't need to make any phone calls. It is now be put into law, passed into law, that they can now retire, they should not retire at 65. I said, isn't God amazing? So I called the principal, I said, see what I heard. She said, oh, yes, I forgot to tell you. She said, I was sitting there when they announced it. She said, and I was so amazed. And I wanted to scream. They were beside me, and this lady burst into tears. Clearly, that lady didn't continue for 5 years. But here was this other woman, because she had connected in this school that was so rough, where the children despised the principal who left before this school came in. A blatant, outright disregard for authority. The principal didn't matter to them. The principal will be talking to them, and they'll just look at the principal, just wave their hand and get off. And there was nothing you could do about that. But this lady that's there now, Mrs. Justina, these children call her mommy. Like you see the transformation, you see the love that she has for them, the way she connects with the children. And then she was telling me the other day, this school has 3,500 students. And one boy was not in school, and this woman knew that this boy was not in school. I was like, what? She said, yes. Boy, I haven't seen him. They said, oh, his father's shop burnt down. His father's a tailor, and his shop got burnt. He had people's clothes to make, and the clothes got burnt. So the father had to run away because the owners of the clothes were coming to with him. I said, get the boy. Get him back to school, take care of his education. I'm not saying this to just, I'm saying in calculation. And I'm taking care of that boy. His back, take care of his education, his book, clothes. You don't have to worry about it, because the father has not got the means to take care of the. But it was not for the level of connectivity that woman has for children. There is no way I would have been involved in the way that I have become involved with the school and in the lives of these children. The power
Of
of
Connect
network.
Network.
Ethnicity.
Ethnicity.
Was my core. Ethnicity. There's people that you, as a person of a particular ethnic group, that there's a level of connection that you have with these people simply because they are either your ethnic group or they are near your ethnic group. What do I mean by that? Now, when I find somebody from my state, I'm excited. Now, don't ask me why. And I keep saying to myself, what state are you from? Now, I shouldn't be asking those questions because these are Nigerians, we are Nigerians. But somehow, there's something about just belonging to a group that allows you a level of connection that's slightly different to how you connect with somebody else. Now, if I'm in a different country and you're Nigerian, then I connect with you differently. In other words, the bigger the space, I can connect more with the next smaller space. Am I making sense? So,
Yes,
give you
sir.
an example. I'm in, I'm in Australia. In Australia, I can enjoy in Australia because it is not the norm. Oh my God, you're in Nigeria. How are you? How have you been here? But if I'm in Nigeria, I'm not excited to see a Nigerian because I am in. I'm excited to see somebody from my state.
Yes,
If I'm
sir.
in my state, I'm excited to see somebody from my city.
Yes,
If I'm in
sir.
my city, I'm excited to see somebody from my tribe.
Hmm.
In my tribe, I'm excited to see somebody from my village. If
Come
I'm in
on.
my village, I'm excited to see somebody from water. And
Come on.
that is the power of connection.
Wow.
And as you understand how to deal with this and how to use it to advantage, you will find that there are levels to life that you have not yet experienced, that you will begin to experience because you understand the power of connection. I'll give an example. A friend of mine was telling me. Now I was born in Warri, born and bred. Warri is a beautiful city, or was a beautiful city. And growing up back then, Warri was an incredible place to live in. If you came back, the language changes every day. So this guy was telling me that he was at the airport, he was about to travel. And he gone to the restaurant and he heard two boys speaking. Warri has a different to the rest of the. And he said when he heard them speaking, he knew that they were from Warri. And he went to them and said, "Hello, are you from Warri?" They said, "Yes, bro. Are you from Warri?" They said, "Bro, speak well." He said, "Brendo." How we greet in my local town. He said, "Brendo." So he orders food. He said he would pay for their food. Pay. Why? Because they were from, he didn't know them, but because he heard the language, not just the pidgin, he was able to connect with them in a different way than he would have connected had he not been in Warri. So as they were
Yes.
talking, he says, "Oh, I'm from Warri too." They said, "Oh, really? What Warri?" He said, "Bendel Estate." They said, "Bros, please, that's not Warri. Now, you're a portion. You're from Warri." But what am I saying? That there's a level of connection that you feel when you meet somebody who comes from your or from your region or from your state or from your town. Then number five, community. Now, as human beings, we are social beings. And we want to be able to identify in the groups that make us feel safe. That can be a church, be a mosque, could be a religious group of some kind, it could be a club, it could be a social club, it could be a football club, it could be a gathering, a club gathering, it could be schools or towns. Like I said, so many people that come from my school, I connect with them in a different way because we have something in common. We have something that binds us together. We share a common experience. We share a common history. We share a common location. All of these help us of connection. Number six, intellectual connections. This is another way where you're able to actually deal and have conversations, have debates and argue with people, conversations with people, a level that is not common with everybody. And there's something about that level of connection that makes you feel revived and renewed and you're full of life. There's certain people, the moment you start to talk about that give them that they have an interest in, they come to life in a way you will not. Football, politics, religion, whatever it may be, fashion, business. There's some the moment you start talking business, they've gone. When I meet anybody who tells me automatically I have a something for them. It's a natural thing for me. I don't think about it. And the first thing I'm thinking is, how can I help them be better? What can I do for them? I give an example. I'm not sure what I'm to in the link work with. My father trained us together, Bio. And when I found out about him, he was still in Warri and still making clothes. I said, that's very good. So I began to give him things, to make for people, the children in the school, because I wanted to be able to connect with his business because we share a common history. And Bio has eaten my money. I advise on this call. But that is what the power of connection will do for you. And you have to be able to learn how to navigate and to use this and financial. There's the groups of millionaires. It's a club. And when these people meet, you don't need to talk.
Yeah.
If you fly business class and you're sitting in business class, you can sit in business class. Nobody's how about you? What age are you? How much money do you buy? If you fly business class, you fly first class. There's a code, an unspoken code of conduct. It's like you are given access without any questions asked. And when you understand this level of connection, you would use it to your advantage. The power of connection. How do you maximize your connection? Number one, you have to be knowledgeable. You have to know what to do with it. You have to know that it exists and that there's a level you cannot get beyond until you understand and study this. You must be knowledgeable. Number two, you must be disciplined. You must be disciplined. If you're not disciplined, you cannot reap the benefit of connection. Number three, you have to make sacrifices. Nobody does. You cannot enter into certain unless you have paid or maybe that you need to get there. I have made. Number four, be taking a trip to Toronto. I was conscious partly, but the moment I got on the street, where it tells you 100 miles, as far as I was concerned, 180 miles is a long way to go. It's a way to drive. Just driving. And I switched off maybe because I was just going straight on the straight line. But sometimes, every once in a while, you need to make a turn. And it is those turns that makes the difference. Where do I turn? Do I turn right or do I turn left? And you have to and so you can hear when you need to make that turn. You will know when you need to make that turn. Be conscious. Number five, be present. There are moments in this space that you cannot and think that you can enjoy power. Number six, if you want to maximize the power of connection, you must be consistent. You cannot do tomorrow. You cannot be here today and there tomorrow. If you stay in the path, you have to stay in the path.
Wow.
If you've chosen to walk, regardless of what comes, regardless of what you feel, regardless of cheering you on, regardless of who's, regardless of or you have to say, you know what, I have a journey to take and I'm going to get through it.
Yes,
Number
sir.
seven, and the final way, be grateful. Father, thank you that I have this. Thank you that I can do this. Thank you that I have credit on my phone. Thank you that I live in a country where there's no war. Thank you that I have to call when I have a need. Gratitude will help you to maximize the power of your connection. I'm going to stop there, and that's my 45 minutes.
Wow. Oh Lord. Oh my goodness. The the sound was a little bit shaky, but I want to believe people got the message. It was so powerful.
Oh no.
It was so powerful. And I have in the studio Vivienne. Hope I got that name right. Vivienne. I have Chris in the studio. If they do have questions, I would like to invite them. If they do have questions, I would like to invite them. Yes, they are turning on their cameras now. Please, if you do have questions, just let me know and I will invite you to talk with our guests. Okay, let me see. But that was so powerful. That was so powerful. Hello, Chris. Hello, Chris. Can you hear me? Do you have question, Mr. Chris? Mr. Chris, if you have question, unmute yourself and then you can ask your question. But sir, let me ask you this question. Let me start with ethnic connection. You remember you spoke about ethnic connection. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So you remember you spoke about ethnic connection. You remember you spoke about ethnic connection, and I want to start from there. I want to ask you something about ethnic connection. Now, because I noticed that some communities have actually maximized this. For example, the Jewish community. Another community I know that maximize this a lot
Yes.
are the what are they called now? The Chinese community. So you come into a big country, there's always a Chinatown.
Yes.
You come into a big country, there's always this Jewish community. They stay together, they live together. Question is, what really is the advantage of that?
Yes.
And then why is it that the African race cannot really get to understand that communal or community living?
Yes. Yes. So basically, like I was saying, when you are or you are in a different land, it is your the common thread that binds you. That's really the glue. So once you understand this and you decide as a people that we're in this land and we must succeed in this land, we must protect each other in this land, we must patronize each other in this land because your survival is based directly proportionate with your success. Your survival is directly proportionate with your survival.
Wow.
If you don't make it or you have no of some no person that of means in your community, you are going to be oppressed. But if you have wealth, if you have power, if you have influence, then you know that you are covered. And any person who's coming from your country into the community is coming into the security of what has already been established by the people from your community. So your safety is in this community. Your survival is in this community. Your success is in this community. And so it makes sense to come into this group and fit into this group. You can settle into this group with ease because these men, they've come and they've understood terrain. And if they've succeeded, they've overcome the obstacles in that terrain. You coming in as a new person into this community, why do you need to go try to find a new path for yourself when you can just come in and fit to a system that be tried and tested and proven to be a system that works? Some countries still don't have this level of haven't awoken to this truth. But like you rightly said, the Jews have awoken to this. They're maximizing it. In any country that the Jews go, you will not find a Jew who single-handed in a different area by themselves. Or if they are, I'm not aware of it. They always live. Why? Because of their history of persecution. They know
Wow.
that if they are in their community, their safety is in that community. Their
Wow.
survival in the community. You would think twice about going to attack a Jew in London because the entire street or the entire area is Jews that own it. And these men and women are wealthy beyond comprehension. So that is the advantage. And until we learn that as a people, we will not be able to make the progress and advances that we ought to make.
The second part of that question is what is wrong? Dr. Matthew Ashimolowo wrote a book and titled it "What is Wrong with Being Black." So I really feel like asking, what is wrong with the black community? Why is it difficult for us to understand this community living?
Ignorance.
Mm.
I am not a threat to you. You are not a threat to me. I give an example. I went to see a client many years ago,
Yes, sir.
or a prospective client. And sitting in his hotel room, he says to me, he says, "Do you know Oswald Boateng?" I said, "Yes." He said, "What do you think of him?" I said, "He's very good." He said, "Really?" I mean, you could see he was physically startled. He said, "Really?" I said, "He's very good. Oswald is the Don. He's very good." He said, "What do you think about Nino?" I said, "Nino is very good. Nino's father is a tailor, is an old tailor, very seasoned, very good." He said, "Why do you speak so good? Why do you speak well of these men and they are your competition?" I said, "They're not my competition."
Mm.
He said, "Really?" I said, "They're not. I have my clientele, they have their clientele. I don't have to put you down to get your client. If I do a better job than you, your client will be my client. I will never run anybody down because I want to get their business." And that's what midgets do. Midgets pull other people down to their size, but giants pull other people up to their size.
Come on now.
So
Hallelujah.
the problem with the black,
Oh my goodness.
yes, ignorance.
Wow. Wow. Let me go to the next question, sir. Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Let me ask about relationship connection. You said something while you were teaching that you have seen
Yes,
a lot of men who rose up to a pedestal fall. A lot of women who rose up to that high level fall because of relationship connection. They don't feel connected to, and it's combined.
yes,
I'm combining in this question, I'm combining relationship and intimacy connection. They don't feel
yes,
connected intimately with the person, and as a result is
yes.
really messing up every part of their life. To somebody who that might be his or her experience, what advice do you have to give, how to start improving those connections so that they can maintain their steady level of success?
Yes. Now, I'm one day that you should separate from somebody because it's working, but sometimes people just work. Sometimes when you've grown apart and you find that that you are that person that is closest to you is the person that's pulling you down, then you have to make it and say, "Am I willing to go under with this person?" This person, they may be drowning and you're trying to save them, and yet they're trying to pull you down to die with them. You know what? I have to let go because at the end of the day, I'm not going to go down with you. Les Brown says something that I found very, if you cannot put up in your life, for God's sake, let them pull you down.
Mm. Wow.
Sometimes you have to take, what is this relationship doing? Am I growing from it or am I dying from it?
Wow.
No, I want to die. Not now. Not now.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for thank you for that answer, because there is this religiosity around that. There's this religiosity around that. There is there's a very strong religiosity around that, and so many people who would have succeeded um are not doing well. Some of them have even died, physically speaking, because they got scared of moving on with their life, just basically considering what religion we say. I'm having a connection that is not helping me in any way, but oh, I don't want to move on so that they will not say, oh, this person's marriage or this person's relationship didn't work. So and they are dying, and they are not making maximum impact in their life. So what do you say to such a person? How do you balance this need for intimate and relationship connectivity as it combats with religious understanding?
So for me, first of all, is first of all you have a conversation with each other and say what is happening to us and where are we going? Where did we go wrong? Fine. And we trace our steps and find the where things began to get really sour for us. If you tried on your own and you're not able to find a resolution, then seek counseling and say, you know what, go get counseling. You get counseling from whomever, maybe from a therapist, or get counseling or from your imam or from your parents or whoever it is. And if still that doesn't work, of course you need to be trained through all of these processes. And if after you paid and your counseling sessions and done still not, then it's all you don't need together. Because I don't want you to die in my arms. And I don't want to die in your arms either. Somebody out there to whom you're best suited. Go find that person. I'm going to release the person. You need to release me so I can, because together we're no good for each other. And somebody got to close. And then to not learn about what anybody thinks. The truth is you're concerned about what we they have the problems to worry about and they're not even thinking about you. They